Welcome to Old Grump's Garage. Hey y'all, Alan, Old Grump's Garage. So we got the engine mounted, we got the transmission mounted, we got the cross member in place, we've set the pinion angle. Today we're going to work on figuring out what we need on the drive shaft. Got to figure out measurements, figure out how much we're going to need to shorten it, and what our options are. Let's get to it.
Let's get to it.
Alrighty. So what we're going to try to do is see if we can figure out the S10 drive shaft fits and how much it's going to need to be shortened. So it indeed is right on the transmission end. And you'll see, because we've shortened things up with the transmission mount and the engine mount, that it's going to be significantly shorter. We get down here to the old rear end housing. All right, guys. So it looks like we need to be 8 inches shorter going from the top of that U-joint to where we made our mark is about 8 inches. So I'm gonna have to do some research and see if I can find something, or work with the drive shaft shop to have something built. All right, so ran into a little problem, took the drive shaft that was originally in the S10 to the shop that does drive shaft work, and they said they couldn't shorten an aluminum drive shaft. So instead of taking chances on anything, we went to Speedway Motors. I'll include a link and show you on their page. You can go to a page on their website. It'll give you a form to fill out, tell you exactly how to measure for this drive shaft. You put it in, tell them how many splines the input shaft is, what U-joints you want, and they'll send you out a drive shaft. So I ordered this drive shaft on a Saturday. They manufactured it and made it on Monday and had it shipped out Monday afternoon. They have a relationship with Fast Shafts, who makes all their drive shafts. They did an excellent job. Funny story about how this drive shaft got here. It did not take a direct route, and I'll show you a little story about that. You unlock this door with the key of logistics. Beyond it, another dimension. A dimension not only of sight and sound, but of misrouted packages. A journey into a wondrous land whose boundaries are that of human error and cosmic irony. Next stop?
The Twilight Zone.
On the 3rd day of November in the year of our calendar, a drive shaft, ordinary in appearance, unremarkable in purpose, departed from a vendor in Iowa. Its destination, a locally equally unassuming, a mere 30 miles from a regional distribution center. But what followed was not delivery, it was a detour into the unknown. This package, unaware of its own fate, became a passenger on a route not charted by man, but perhaps by something else. First it arrived tantalizing close to its goal, the distribution center, near its final stop. Then, inexplicably, veered westward to the deserts of Arizona. From there it was whisked eastward to Jacksonville, Florida, a city known for its ports, but not for its drive shafts. And then, as if caught in a loop of cosmic indecision, it returned once more to the same distribution center, a mere 30 miles from its intended home. 8 days, over 4,500 miles, a journey not of efficiency, but of existential drift. Somewhere between Iowa and South Georgia, between intention and execution,
lies a realm where packages travel not by truck or plane, but by fate. A realm where even the most mundane shipment can become a tale of mystery, of distance, of delay. In
The Twilight Zone.
Here's the first bit of good news. We got the right spline for the transmission. Eureka! They did an excellent job of packing this, by the way. Look at that. Fits perfectly. Of course it does. All right, so now I will crawl in the truck, put the transmission in gear, and then we'll tighten all those one more pass, and we'll be good.